Hello and welcome. I have with me here Pragati Sharma, who is the founder of the Pragati Art School in Sunnyvale, California. She is an extremely passionate artist who has developed her own very unique style of painting that is influenced by nature, mythology, her love of colors, and Indian folk arts and folk tales. She has created an art style that is meticulously detailed, puzzle like works that have layers upon layers of interwoven details. During this very special time, Pragati has also created unique ways of engaging her students. Now, she has also given her time to be an Ekal Indie Art Ambassador. Welcome, Pragati ji. What an honor to have you here.
Thank you so much, Ranjani ji. It is truly an honor to be here. And yeah, to be associated with Ekal, with Indie Art, with you, Jarna, Praveen, everyone, it's an honor, truly an honor. Thank you so much.
It seems like the indie art has created a good ecosystem for all the artists, and it looks like you're
Absolutely.
enjoying it.
Loving it, totally loving it. All the discussions and being, engaging at a daily basis with like-minded people. It's amazing. It's very positive.
So, would you say it's one of a kind of thing that you haven't had before?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, one
God.
pool of so many talented people. Yes, it's rare. It's rare.
Uh,
Yeah.
that is wonderful. Well, we are totally blessed that, Ekal Vidyalaya, for those of you who don't know, the organization is an organization that brings education and empowerment to over 100,000 rural remote villages where we are educating 3 million children every single day. Indie Art is an art competition that was created during this very special time to engage the creativity of all the people in the US, young and not so young, while at the same time bringing digital literacy, supporting digital literacy in rural India. So Pragati ji, your colors, your art is so beautiful. And I guess it's a no-name art because it's Pragati art. So I'd love to know about your journey. I think, like most artists, you probably didn't start out as a professional artist. How did you get there to here?
Yeah. It was a very beautiful journey, actually. So I grew up in a township where my dad used to work for BHEL, and it was in Jhansi in UP. But in around us, we had people from all states of India, all languages, all regions. So it was literally living in unity and diversity sort of situation. So we enjoyed all festivals, all sorts of dance, and Spikmeke was very active that time. So attending concerts by renowned artists like Pandit Jasraj, Zakir Hussain was a norm. And I grew up around that. So it was a very, very culturally rich
Mhm.
sort of environment.
Right.
And I was good at academics too. So a natural path would have been to either become an engineer or a doctor. But considering my very highly creative side and the academic side as well, my dad very strategically steered me towards architecture, which wasn't a very well-known discipline at that time. But he somehow found out about it, and I ended up appearing for architecture entrance
Right.
along with engineering entrance, and ended up in the best institute for architecture in Lucknow. And those 5 years of architecture were like amazing. It was like a dream world where you learn about art, architecture, engineering, all coexisting disciplines together. So I had fun. Those 5 years were brilliant. Living in Lucknow was another enriching experience. Learning about food, learning about their culture, the Mughal architecture around you, brilliant teachers, amazing peers, and
Then
it
I
was
think
all goody good so far.
then you went to NID, I think, right?
Yes. So after that, I went to NID. That was like I was in Disney World now, because the beauty of NID is NID Ahmedabad campus, is that there are 15 to 20 disciplines, different design disciplines that are being taught in the same campus.
Wow.
So there are furniture designers, there are graphic designers, there are filmmakers, there are textile designers, user experience, what not. There are
Right.
photographers. Though I studied product design, but my best friends were furniture designers, textile designers. So we were always, coexisting, learning from each other. So, and with the brilliant faculty, professors around you,
Right.
and super talented peers around you. So it was
But you
like
didn't
the
paint at
best.
NID. You didn't paint at NID. You got the product
I
design there. And then
I
you
did
jumped
paint.
into this beautiful painting. How did that
Yes.
happen?
I did paint on and off always. I was always interested into painting, but it never would become my profession till this point because of the strong, very strong left brain
Right.
dominance also. So I could not convince myself that I should become a
Sure.
fine artist
Right.
or a professional
Right.
artist. So that happened after I moved to the US. So all this information, exposure, everything was getting gathered inside. And now I wanted an outlet for it. And the situation was such that I couldn't do anything else. And this just became a beautiful outlet of everything.
So you just
So
started painting and just
just
painted and
started
painted.
painting, painting, and learned while painting. I never learned formally painting, but what happens is the basic principles are same. So what you study in architecture or what you study in design, the principles, the elements, they are all the same. There are lots of overlaps, there are lots of
Right.
similarities. The way of application may be different, but the basic principles remain the same.
So
So yeah, so
I was
art
just going to
happened.
say, when I look at your art, colors, 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 colors,
Yes.
everywhere, brilliant colors. So how did you
Yeah.
decide to come up with this? I know there's tons of information that you, by osmosis, you gathered, but what kind of art is this? And can you explain to our audience what you do with art?
So I get a lot of inspiration from Indian folk art, which is very colorful, very detailed. There are lots of motifs that are repeated, that are used across folk art. Like for example, a lotus motif is used in all kinds of folk arts in different ways, of course, that they're drawn differently. So lotus became a very important part of my paintings as well. It has to come in all. Also, its auspiciousness, the symbol in mythology and everything. So similarly, I started gathering these motifs, like the tree of life. That concept is very important in my paintings. So scripts are very important. I love Devanagari, Sanskrit script. So I started putting everything together and creating compositions that, keeping in mind the principles of composition that I learned in architecture, in design, and applying those concepts in paintings. So overall, creating a beautiful composition, that is something very mysterious because so many things are coming together, but coherently. It is the final image that you're getting is has to be aesthetically pleasing. Whatever it conveys, the painting has to be beautiful. So that was the idea in the beginning. Then what to convey through it? So it has to have some meaning, some concept behind it. So then I was always a reader. So I read a lot of mythology books, a lot of scriptures. So whatever little scene, a little narrative that strikes me, I think of a composition around it, a visual composition around it, and then that converts into my paintings. And style-wise, I just came up with. I was just doing whatever was coming to my mind. And later, many years after I was painting, somebody from a gallery in Europe contacted me that your style looks very similar to what we do. And I didn't know till then that there was an art form called art naif, which comes from Eastern Europe, Russia. So their folk paintings had the similar flavors like my paintings, and they invited me
Wow.
to they invited me to show my paintings in their annual
Yeah,
art
yeah.
fair in Poland.
My
So
God.
that was a discovery, like, oh yeah, oh my art is like that, okay.
Interesting. I think human beings, God has created art and put good ideas in
Yes,
multiple heads so that everything can be
exactly. So
explored.
that's the reason why, South American tribal paintings or African paintings or Australian Aboriginal or Varli or, Madhubani, they look, if you just look at it from a distance, they look similar
Yeah.
because they're all created by tribals. So basic ideas are in motifs, colors, symbols. So
And they're all human, I think. So
everyone is human, yes.
the experiences are very similar. So no, I
Right.
love the painting that is behind. I've used as my backdrop. Do you want to talk about it and how do you
That's,
tell stories
yeah.
through the paintings?
Yeah, so that painting has two things combined. One is my love for storytelling, and the other is my love for scripts. So I wanted to do something with Indian scripts. Somehow, I love the way each script is. It's like a combination of lines and curves and shapes, and they come together and form these beautiful patterns. So I started collecting articles, newspapers in various Indian languages that were interesting to me. I would ask people to translate the stories and tell me what this thing is saying for the ones that I didn't read. And I collected those. And then in each of these compositions, there's a different script, Indian script, that is collaged into it.
Wow.
So there is literally a story in a particular script that is like a jigsaw puzzle fit into the composition.
Oh my God.
So a
Too much
lot of
brilliance. I know, I
lot
can
of
see that you
meaning.
have a right and a left brain, both which are just
Yes,
incredibly
yes.
wonderful. And
So I have
that
to
I do
engage
see.
both sides.
Speaking of engagement, I know that you have a very large school of students, and I know that you engage them very well. So, but what are you doing during this very crazy time? Are you teaching? Are you doing something
So
different?
yes, I actually teach more than 30 different folk art forms from India, ranging from Madhubani, Varli, Gond, Fad, Kalamkari, Patachitra, and more advanced forms like Tibetan Tanka, Rajasthani miniature, Kerala mural. Lots of different art forms are there. In fact, initially I just couldn't get the idea of being able to teach online because that physical interaction is so important for me, like being able to see what medium, what consistency, how much pressure, what angle you bend your hand at. So all those things I couldn't understand how to do that online. So I came up with this in between idea in which I created DIY kits for my students, and they have been loving them. So in fact, I have one right here. So this is a Patachitra, and
Wow, that's
it is a
so beautiful. So
very,
they
very
take it and they can either color in or they can copy it and make their own version of it.
yes. So it comes with a set of paints and brushes and everything. So they have the right supplies to just jump
Have
into
fun.
the project and create a beautiful piece.
Oh,
So people have been enjoying these. I have created kits for kalamkari, kits for fard, and there's one for kids as well, in which
oh
there are
my
12 different art forms and
perfect. Wow.
lots of. So that's
You
what
are
I
so
did during
talented,
the.
Pragati ji. God bless you.
Thank you.
Good thing to take those kids. I am maybe chronologically, I might be slightly not so young, but I think I should start there with your DIY.
You should.
For the painting challenged people like me. So, yeah, and again, now this is something very interesting that you were talking about folk people really, being very beautiful in their expression using pictures. At Ekal that I have seen, I have traveled very widely in the villages, whether it's in Assam or Rajasthan. The beauty of the art, I mean, nobody taught them. And whether it is
Right.
their dance, whether it is their paintings, it's just brilliant. The colors are brilliant. So I would love to know from you why you are so kind as to support Ekal Indie Art. And you're coming up with a workshop. We would love to know what you're going to be doing in that workshop.
I'm so impressed by what Ekal has been doing over the years. I mean, it's you cannot praise it enough. The best thing that you can bring to any kid's life is education. Everything starts from there. All the social evils, the problems, everything can be solved only by education. So I think what Ekal is doing is brilliant, and what indie art along with Ekal, the art contest, and trying to help the kids during these times, which we don't know how long they're going to last. So supporting digital education for them. It's a brilliant initiative. And
Indie Art, what is your workshop going to be all about?
so lots of beautiful art forms have already been taught, and it's such a amazing pool of workshops that is already there. So I thought maybe bring in temple architecture. That is something different, not usually taught, especially to kids. So something interesting like the form of architecture which is used in Pattachitra, especially in the Odisha temples, and how they incorporate into the paintings. So using that form of arch and creating that in a simplified way and using it to frame your artwork. So whatever the art piece that they're creating for the contest, maybe they can use the temple architecture around it. I don't know, just an idea.
That's a great idea. I mean, I remember growing up in, we were Tamil people, but we lived in Bombay, and there used to be these Tamil magazines that came. And when they talked about the temples, there was a very unique style of drawing that they did to show because they're not allowed to take pictures inside and all of that. But that drawing was, I think, inspired by what you're saying, Pattachitra, or maybe it's its own art form. I don't know, but I remember seeing those, and that was very, very beautiful. And what better way to learn about temple architecture in India. India is the home of,
I know there is so much variety of different styles that happen in India, and a lot of inspiration that we get from outside as well. So we have our own beautiful mix of architectural styles.
There you go. And I think being Indian Americans, we have the opportunity to learn from everybody, right? From the world at large, not just from India, but from the world at large. And I think that has made you an incredible artist. So I love the colors, and, God willing, I'll come to your studio and see it at some point.
You're most welcome.
It'll be my honor. Thank you so much for giving your time to
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.